Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening to and watching
the NI
Golf Channel. We thought we would give the old visual side of things a wee go on YouTube and wherever else we'll take the video. This is our first one, so bear with us.
There's going to be a few wee teeth in ours.
It could be ropey enough. There's a lot of new technology going on we're trying to get used to.
You're trying to get used to, you notice I'm not doing any of it.
I sent Paul a message on Twitter the other night to say, what about changing the name to the NI Golf Channel? Is that too pretentious? Is that too over the top? And he
I think so.
He went, no, go for it.
Go for it.
So the NI Golf Channel, because we're now multimedia, trying to take over the world.
Definitely. There's us and there's a Discovery Channel. Watch out.
What else do you need? So that's why there's a bit of a name change. That's why this is our first vlog. And the podcast listeners, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you as normal. So, but first, Mr. Kelly.
Yes, I think we start with
a little Happy New Year to all the viewers, all the listeners.
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody.
Because it's our first one of the year. And I didn't get a chance to give you this last year because it was just a wee bit later.
Okay.
So I hope you like the purpley pink unicorn wrapping paper.
Lovely, thanks very much.
So this is for you. So happy Christmas.
What
if it's not too late for happy Christmas.
Can I put now?
Absolutely.
You see if it's a Hollywood Golf. Please tell me it's an RNA top. Please tell me.
It's not an RNA top.
No. It is
in gratitude already, and he hasn't even opened it.
Oh!
It's a tile.
Oh, Morris, yeah, look at that, everybody. Isn't that fantastic? Paul Kelly towel.
Can I just say, I'm going to move your microphone because you're just a bit loud, which everyone will know who's ever been in your company.
Yes.
So how's that?
Morris, thank you very much.
Show the viewers.
Look at that, that's lovely, isn't it?
Lovely. Paul Kelly, you see, I want to put some kind of smart arse comment on it.
Yeah.
But it only takes like about 15 characters.
That's very good.
And it would take a chapter to write about your
my
golf feelings.
Thanks very much, Morris.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
So now, Mr. Kelly, coming up on today's show.
Yes, we're all over Porrick Harrington's appointment as Ryder Cup captain for 2020 at Whistling Straits.
Absolutely. Rory has returned to action. How did he fare at his opening tournament of the year in Hawaii?
And we've our usual review of all the amateur and pro news.
But before any of that, just a word on friend of the podcast, Michael Boy, who posted a picture on his Twitter feed during the week, standing alongside none other than President.
Yes.
George Bush.
Yeah, former. He's not president.
No, he's not president, but he's former president.
Some other boys are president.
Apparently so. He plays golf too, allegedly. Michael is out in America getting a bit of pre-season work in and played 18 holes with the former US President George W. Bush. He halved the match, or so he claims. But I wonder, did he force the president to hole out?
Can you imagine starting there? President's got a 5-footer for the half. Do you think you'd turn around and say, Mr. President, that's good?
Maybe not. And I wonder, does he play to the same kind of bendy rules that Trump plays to?
Or Clinton was known to take was it a billigan?
Really?
A billigan?
Because he took so many?
Well, yes, he took a billigan or two, I believe.
He's hoping to get 2019 underway in early February down in Australia. This is Michael. We're not sure whether George W. is planning a professional career or not. And so to the big announcement of the week.
What a finish by Podrick Harrington.
Beautifully read and well played Podrick Harrington.
Harrington's the champion.
And finishes in style.
Absolutely fantastic.
And he's made. Podrick Harrington is a winner again, and look at the smile. Podrick Harrington has won the Portugal Masters.
So it came as no shock to anyone when Harrington was named European Ryder Cup captain for 2020 at Whistling Straits in the US.
No shock? A badly kept secret in golf?
I think probably from about the middle of last September, most people had decided it was Borg's. The Dubliner is the third Irishman to get the captaincy role, and he follows in the footsteps of Paul McGinley and Darren Clarke. The 47-year-old admitted he had to think about taking on the role.
It's incredibly special. I grew up, as an amateur in Ireland. I would have played a lot of golf in Christy O'Connor Senior's home course. He had the record for the most number of events, 10 Ryder Cups at that stage. His bags were there. I would have seen Christy O'Connor Jr. hit that 2-iron at the Belfry on 18. I would have seen Eamon Darcy hold the winning putt in Muirfield 4-footer down the hill. Yeah, it was very, very special, all those memories as a kid growing up, and it meant the Ryder Cup, certainly in Ireland, was a big deal. But I still had to question whether I wanted it. I had to question whether I'm just walking into this because it was the right thing to do. And, I had to sit back and think about this and go, yeah, this is something I want to do. I've had a successful golf career, but the Ryder Cup captaincy is a different thing. I'm not hitting the golf balls anymore. It's a managerial position. And I had to question whether I felt I could do it justice, whether I really wanted to commit to this. And when I sat down and thought about it, that's what I came up with. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to be a good Ryder Cup captain, and that means a committed Ryder Cup captain. I know I'm going to have some rookies. It's probably 3 rookies, could be more. So there is changes. There's always going to be changes, and I will deal with them as they come along. I will prepare as well as I can, but I can only prepare for change. I can only prepare for a few curveballs during the week. I won't be able to foresee everything, but I would expect a bit of change, and that's all I can do. I know my players are good enough. I know all I have to do is just make sure I get the best. If my players play to their ability, that's all I can ask of them, and that's all I will look from them. And they're good enough. They've shown that they're good enough, and it's my job to make sure I put everything in place that they feel like they can play to their own abilities. Now there's somebody I haven't heard of that will probably make my Ryder Cup team. That's just the nature of the Ryder Cup. Maybe I have heard of him, but there'll be an outlier who will make it in there, which is the great thing about the Ryder Cup. That's why Europe has been strong over the years. We always have had a rookie have a great year, and they have a great successful Ryder Cup afterwards, and that's very important. I'll be looking out for that one guy who comes from nowhere, will make it in the team, will have momentum, and his momentum will actually rub off on the rest of the players, will give a bit of a buzz to the rest of the players who are in the team. Yes, I'm going to give everything I have, no doubt about it. I'm committed to this. Selfishly, I want to be a good captain, but outside of that, I want to be part of a winning Ryder Cup team. I want that buzz too.
So, given that he's done 3 vice-captain stints and the timing in his career, as he was saying, he's the right man for the job.
Seemed to be. I don't think, from you look at the reaction, there wasn't anybody saying, "Oh, you've overlooked such and such," or that it was this guy's turn. Or the few of the Scottish journalists were talking about the fact that Paul Rory seems to have missed out. His chance seems to have gone. But Porrig was a unanimous choice by the sounds of it. No arguments, and then well received on Twitter by all the players as well.
Why do they think they went with Porrig then for a foreign trip?
Well,
do you think he's better suited to playing away from home as a captain, or?
Well, Harrington himself does think that because Whistling Straits quite close to Chicago or Boston, that he will get some Irish fans coming down to watch, and that should help the atmosphere. But I think he's well known in America. He's got a good reputation in America. He's played a lot of golf there, so it's not as if he's going there as an unknown. And he's got a certain amount of clout, I would say, and there'll be a certain amount of respect about what he's done over the years with his golf game. And also, he can't argue 3 majors.
I think he said himself that Whistling Straits is probably as close to a European course as we're likely to get in America. Why is that?
It's a linksy type golf course. If you remember, that's the course that DJ was playing, was US PGA, and he grounded his club in one of the, what was a waste site, or a waste hazard, as it's called, not a hazard, a waste area was what they call it. So it's sort of linksy. It's going to be hard for them to set it up the way They would like to set it up with the big wide fairways for them to hit it into. So I think Harrington's weighed up, you know what he's like. He's weighed up all the negatives and the pros, and he's thought this is the one for me.
And in terms of Harrington himself and his traits, and we know he's a bit of a Ubermensch and just overthinks things, and
that is the one thing worries me about
hugely analytical. You know, is he going to get in his own way, do you think? Or
I would say that would be the one thing that slightly worries me. But the one thing I would say about Pádraig is that he does come from a team background, so he has played sport, played a lot of Gaelic football growing up, so he has that team mentality in there. He's played a lot of team golf, obviously played golf for Ireland, played golf for Europe, played Semi Trophy, so he does understand that environment, and it's clear from what he said that he's already sort of, I know that some people are going to have to put an arm round, some people are going to need a wee bit of a G up.
Well, he also said that he's not the fuzzy cuddly type.
No, I don't think
not putting too many arms around too many people.
Well, I don't think he is. I think he's the sort of guy, just get out and get it done.
And is this pretty much then the end of Pádraig's playing career?
Well, that's funny. Do you not think that over the last 18 months his game
started to come back?
Again?
Absolutely, started to come back. So that's why I thought it's strange timing in a way, but he's obviously given it a lot of thought. But
yeah, I think I would suggest that, you know, he's decided himself, and that's one of the other things he said in the press conference, that he's at the stage where his golf game where he accepts that his golf game that he brings to the course on a day is the golf game he plays with. He's not hitting as many balls. He's accepted that, you know, he can still be competitive, but he's not prepared to go out and do that grind again, because as the age is, his body probably's not up to it any longer as well. So I think in many respects, based on what he said only, he's accepted that he's not going to be just as competitive as he was, and clearly he's willing to leave that side, that side of him to one side.
He's probably still got one open left.
You would think.
I think he might have one more open left
if he wins at Rapport Rush, which, by the way, he loves. He loves Rapport Rush.
One of the things that Pádraig is clear on is that Rory McIlroy will be an integral part of his team in 2020. Harrington described Rory as loving the Ryder Cup, which hopefully ends any debate that Rory will not be taking part due to his tour membership next year, or this year as the case may be.
No, it's next year, remember.
Next year for the Ryder, but this year in his commitments to the European Tour. Speaking of Hollywood, by the way, that's where we are now, because we didn't explain this at the start. We're here live from the Starters Hut at Hollywood Golf Club. They've kindly allowed us to use the Starters Hut.
So, Morris, it's not true that Rory McIlroy built us a studio?
It's not true. That rumour has been going around that Rory paid for the studio to be built. No, this Starters Hut has been here for a long, long time.
It's a good rumour, that one.
Rory made his first start of 2019 at the Sentry Tournament of Champions in Hawaii, eventually finishing tied for 4th behind winner Xander Schauffele, who course record 11 under. You're not gonna, it's hard to legislate for that.
And it's also one of the things that's funny because, lost in the whole thing about Rory not finishing well and Gary Woodland not finishing well, having been out in the final group, is how good Xander Schauffele has been over the last 18 months.
Unbelievable.
I think it's for four wins or something. And big wins, he's winning big tournaments. He knows how to get the job done. Just another case of, just shows you how damn competitive it is out there.
Rory was going particularly well the first 3 days. He was, I think he was strokes gained off the tee. He was still number one, even though he had a bad final day. It was just that last day.
His putting was very good as well.
His putting was good the first 3 days, not so great on the last day, but it was actually off the tee as well. It just, that last day just didn't really gel for him. Unfortunately, he also found himself making the headlines for some comments he made about the European Tour being a stepping stone to the US PGA Tour. Now, what do you make of what he said?
He made the comments when he played the last event in Europe about potentially going and playing for the year in the PGA Tour. And it's hounded him any time he's walked out now. It's just the constant questioning he's getting.
Well, first of all,
I think he's got the stage where he's going, oh my God, do I have to answer this again?
First of all, let's get to the comment that he said. He said that he, paraphrasing a bit, that the European Tour is a bit of a stepping stone to the PGA Tour.
Okay.
Right. As soon as he said that, everyone went, ooh, right?
Yeah.
But think about it. And then I thought, how many European Tour players wouldn't actually admit that that is the case? As in, if they were pushed hard to say, is it a bit of a stepping stone? Surely most European Tour players have that ambition to be able to get up onto both tours.
Exactly.
So therefore, it's a stepping stone.
Yes.
So I couldn't myself understand all the furore that was going on. He was just saying it like it is, and that's...
Yes, because he's still a European Tour member. There is still, remember, let's be honest, the two tours are battling for sponsors and for rankings and for ratings. And Rory, as a European Tour member, is a stalwart of the European Tour, and the feeling would be, the classic support your own. So that would be the feeling, and that's why the European Tour people, a lot of the sort of your rank and file European Tour players were obviously annoyed about it, because what you're effectively saying is that the tour you're playing on, where you make your living on, and you need your sponsors to be backing, isn't as big as the PGA Tour. Now, your average fan, by the way, probably
doesn't give a flying fiddlers.
And probably is only looking at the PGA Tour because all the stars are on there, and thinks, God, there's more world number X 1, 2 and 3 playing in those events. But also, if you look at the careers of your top players, look at Justin Rose, look at Sergio Garcia, Martin Kaymer tried it for a while. Matt, wonder what Matt Ross will do this year. Would he try and play a bit more on the PGA Tour? Donaldson, another classic example. Graham McDowell, Paul Casey. Where have they started their careers? The European Tour. Where are they currently trying to play their trade? The US PGA Tour. And if anybody says it's anything to do with bigger ranking points, less travel, and more money, they're lying. That's the truth of it.
Can we apologise about the sunshine as well? We didn't order sunshine today, so it's maybe a bit bright in the background there.
Yeah.
You want a bit of cloud cover. The weather this last 3-4 weeks has been mental.
It's a bad job when we're complaining about the weather too good in January. On the Rory stuff, finally on the Rory stuff.
Oh, why?
Yes, so there's a couple of issues going on. I think he's annoyed at the constant questioning. The other issue is, does he have to say the things that he's been saying? He didn't have. That's quite an inflammatory statement. Anybody who's Rory, the idea that Rory just said it off the cuff may be the case, but did he have to say it? And is there an ongoing issue between him and the European Tour?
Do you see, when you're asked for a comment, do you see if you're not one of these people that starts to preempt everything that they should be saying, and you're actually honest and off the cuff, and you just say it like it is? You can't be double checking yourself like that.
No, and you can't. The other thing is, you can't always be complaining as journalists, and I've been in those interviews. You can't be complaining when somebody is in corporate and saying all the right things, and then when somebody answers a question honestly,
then you take them to task and bury them for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that, and what you'll find now is probably, it was actually quite remarkable, the next press conference he did, because that's the one I texted you about and said Rory seems to be really, really pissed off.
Yeah.
And it's not like him at all. He usually is quite engaged, and but you could tell that it was just a wee edge to him, and it probably is that whole stepping stone, the European Tour stuff that's...
Yeah.
And the problem is then you'll get, if you've had a good relationship with him and players like him in the past who are open, they'll start to give you less and give you less, and then
you end up with Tiger Woods' world, where Tiger Woods does 20-minute press conference where he says nothing.
In other news, Charlie Hull won the opening event of the Ladies European Tour in Abu Dhabi, the Fatima bint Mubarak Ladies Open.
Yeah, and the European Tour season finally kicks off, Morris. It picks up again this week with the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. Paul Dunn and Shane Lowry are scheduled to play.
Graham McDowell is making his first start. Is this a visitor we have coming?
Yes, it's a visitor.
Come on in, we're only live on the television.
He's too busy. He's too busy to speak
we're
to
actually,
own show.
We're actually doing
doing a piece. The camera is...
And you just dropped on in.
But
It's alright.
say hello to everybody.
Hello there, guys. What about you?
Hello.
And back at the TV, Graham McDowell is making his first start of 2019 in the Desert Classic in California. So, anybody playing at all this week?
When Seamus Power has been playing in the Sony over in Hawaii. He's missed the cut. But apart from that, there's been no other company. Like Leona Maguire didn't get into the event, the first tour event of the year on the LET. So she'll not be starting for Norway while as well. It looks like Michael was talking on Twitter that he's hoping to start his tour season when the European Tour has a couple of events in Australia in the next couple of weeks. But the Challenge Tour schedule hasn't come out yet, Mars, and all sort of the other schedules are still sort of being finalised, so there's very little happening still. It's still January.
It's pretty quiet on the amateur front as well, but some big news is our VP of Programming, Olivia Mahaffey.
Yes, on Friday, Olivia got her invite to play in the inaugural Augusta National Women's Amateur. That's from April the 3rd to the 6th. And the world ranked number 26. That's where Olivia's 26 in the world. That's
fantastic.
Pretty good. Yeah, she'll be part of an elite field of 72 players. The first 2 rounds will be played at the Champion Retreat Golf Club. Retreat Golf Club. The final round will take place at Augusta National on Saturday, April the 6th, and will feature the top 30 competitors who made the cut. And just in case you're wondering, if you fly out all the way to there and you play in the competition and you miss the cut and you think, oh God, I'm not going to play Augusta, you're still going to get to play Augusta because everybody gets a prize.
Meanwhile, also over in the States, Miami to be precise, Johnny Foster student and member of this very golf club, Tom McKibben, not only turned 16 recently, but also came 6th in the Junior Orange Bowl. So well done, Tom. Another good result, top 6, and that's some of the best young amateurs in the world, basically.
Tom nearly, I don't know whether you could look at his results, but I think some of Tom's best results have been in America.
Oh yeah, and he's obviously going out for the, isn't it, Gators?
Yeah, he's going out there now as a student 2 or 3 years.
2 years
when he's finally finished his exams over here.
And some ranking news?
Yeah, towards the end of last year, you may remember we discussed a lot of the very first world rankings for disabled golfers. The rankings went live at the start of this year. And Brenton Lawler, mate from Brenton Lawler from Dundalk, he's ranked 3rd in the world.
In the gross section, so very, very good. And that's about it for episode 59 of the first NI Golf Channel vlog.
Podcast
and 59 of podcasts. Are there any other sort of platforms that we can sort of infiltrate?
No, I'm not going on Snapchat. I don't care what anybody says. I do not care what anybody says. I'm not doing Snapchat. That's for teenagers.
We're probably too old for Snapchat.
Yeah, I think we're too old.
I don't think there's anything else we need to square off.
No, Jordan Spieth.
Well, it's been going on for, some people say, about 12 to 18 months. Hank Haney came out and said something, pretty unequivocal, and just said that you can now actually see that there's tremors in his hands and he is developing the yips.
That would be terrible for a man like him who relies so much on his
We have some footage here if you want to have a quick look. I'm not sure that, is it really that bad? Well, he's missed a few very short putts.
Yeah. He's still.
Is it the yips?
Well, I don't know.
The dreaded.
Maybe he just putted that. Not really. That year, sort of 18 months, he was brilliant. He putted so well, but his short game has always been the keystone of his game. So if it goes awry, I don't know what.
But isn't it shocking how much this game is in your head?
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
90% of it.
I know, but Ernie Els managed to get through it.
Kind of.
Tiger kind of got through it with the chipping yips.
The chipping yips, yeah.
So it's
Bernard Langer's, of course, the classic case. I know how many yips he had.
Yeah.
He was just yips all over.
But isn't it crazy that it's in your head and it?
Miss a few putts, get a bit nervy over a few of them before you know it, you're not holding any of them. Well, hope he comes through it actually. Okay, he may not be our favourite player, but he's still very competitive and is, when he's on his day.
Oh, absolutely.
He can hold some.
Absolutely. So, what's on the agenda for the next couple of weeks? What's coming up that we need to think about? Well, Abu Dhabi, obviously.
Abu Dhabi, the big one, European Tour coming again. Hopefully, the Challenge Tour schedule will be launched soon. Would like to see, Stephanie Meadow, the LPGA season will be kicking off, I would say, in the next few weeks. Stephanie will be playing in that as well. And obviously, some of us out there will be getting our clubs back out after the winter and getting back to the game.
You've been playing the whole time. You were down at Portmarnock.
Well, we was. Portmarnock. By the way, Portmarnock Links. By the way, we're Robin Dawson, who is the new touring professional at Portmarnock Links. Good luck to Robin with Portmarnock Links, a great club down there. So it's down playing there with a great day. Dry as a bone. Not like a links golf course, be dry as a bone.
So if you're playing your Winter League golf, continued good luck with that.
How's your Winter League?
The boys are just heading out.
How's your Winter League?
It's going average 17 points this week. So there was one other thing. Are we going to do a rules video? But see, I want to do something different because everybody and their dog has done a rules video. Here's the top 20 rules you have to know about for 2019. For example, Robert, a friend of mine who plays, said to me the other day, he dropped the ball from knee height, it hit his foot. What happens?
That's interesting. I don't know. That's a weird one.
So it hits his foot and it moves. Now, there was another rule introduced that an accidental movement of the ball doesn't count, but you can't actually place it back to where it would have fallen because it bounced on his foot.
Do you know what, Morris? That's an interesting one.
It's only somebody
very
silly who would drop it
from
forward
the front
onto your toe.
Yeah, you're meant to drop it to the side.
You don't drop it, you don't have to drop it like right on above your knee onto your toe. You can hold it at the height out that way, but then Robert's 8'3". So.
Yeah, he dropped it. He had a long way to bend down.
So, but it hit his foot, and then so what do you do?
I don't know what the rule is in that. I don't know what the
so that's why I'm thinking we should do a wee rules video on things that don't all necessarily make sense.
Exactly.
You can follow us on all our usual social media channels, which are now called NI Golf Channel. So that's on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Get in touch.
Get in touch. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Adios.